Welcome back everyone to this, the first episode of Season 3. Before we continue our march towards the SPL by, hopefully, first time of asking, winning the first division and maybe even dabbling a little bit in Europe in the UEFA Cup, let's have a brief recap of what we've achieved so far. Season 1, we won the Challenge Cup for the first time, defeating St Johnstone 4-0 in a very easy final, and we went on to win the third division, unbeaten champions. Season 2, once again we won the Challenge Cup, this time beating Ross County 4-1 in another easy cup final. We went on to win the second division, this time just a 1 defeat, 0 draws and 35 wins. The team finishing bottom of the league actually managed to defeat us for that one lonely defeat. Oh, and there was a wee small matter of winning the Scottish Cup final, defeating Rangers 5-1 in a spectacular collapse by Rangers in the second half, giving us our first major title and also giving us a shot at the UEFA Cup this season. Enough of me telling you things you already know, let's properly start this episode. In our off-season, the board spent a little bit of money upgrading the training ground facilities to adequate facilities once again. I did say I really wish they would put a lot of the money I have banked away and, properly done it up. But yeah, they're just spending a wee bit at a time, it seems, at the end of every season, just doing it up enough. And here is some of our banked away money, 8.2 million. With a transfer fund of 675,000 to spend. Let's have a look at the new batch of players we brought in, as well as some of the old that went out. In the pre-season we spent a total of 475,000, and one of the purchases here, Matt Haywood, 55,000 to cost the central defender, and yeah, very good, very happy with that purchase. Next up we have Jeff Whitley, we got on a free transfer. Defensive mid-right centre. We got him from Man City as they did not play him basically for the past 2 seasons. Very happy once again with this purchase. Brilliant midfielder. Johan Millier we got on a free transfer. Mid-right centre, 22-year-old French midfielder from Monaco. Once again they let his contract run out. Sergio Matabuena, a defender slash defensive mid-centre. Pretty good, Spanish player. And Racing Santander, I think you say that. I think you just add the lisp to everything Spanish. Yeah, pretty good purchase. Salvatore Vicari, 22-year-old Italian midfielder from Messina. Mid-right, yeah, fantastic, very happy. Simon Royce, our most expensive signing, 425,000 it cost us, goalkeeper from Leicester. Yeah, I struggled to find a goalkeeper and had to pay that. It's just John Williams, just a youth prospect. I'm looking to sell him as soon as. Morten Falch, a Danish sweeper defensive mid-centre from Hvidovre. Yeah. Next up, Kasper Ibsen, another goalkeeper, 18 years old. He's a regen. Fantastic. I think he'll be one to look out for in the future, and already he's good enough to actually feature in the team. We also made quite a few signings right at the end of last season. So we have Wayne Carlisle for 85,000, bought from Bristol Rovers, defender slash attacking mid, right and left. I think he'll be good in the full back position as well as the wing. Chris Fraser, Scottish forward centre, already very decent stats. I think he'll be featured quite a bit. Panagiotis Polos, attack mid-centre, Greek regen, 18 years old, very decent stats as well. Magnus Johansson, we got on a Bosman, it's a 31-year-old left-back from Sweden, played for Groningen. Hjalte Jonsson, a right-back from Iceland. IBV he played for, whoever that is, I'm drawing a blank on that. Skrekas, a 19-year-old Greek regen, defensive mid-right. Don't really like my wingers being defensive, but he's young and fairly decent stats. Peter Rung, a 19-year-old defender centre. Yeah, he's one I'll probably sell actually. Alan Smart, he is the player we got on a direct swap with Dundee United for Diawara. And that's everybody we brought in. I sped up that list ever so slightly near the end. On to who made room for these players coming in. Some big names make way. We'll start with the smaller names however. Robert Nicol, one of our youth players, leaves on a free. Gravelly and the old man leaves for 28,000, happy to get anything for him to be honest. Stuart Dixon, 22,000 he leaves for, one of their youth players. And the legend Suarez, he moves on, 275,000. Maurice Ross, our most interesting transfer fee, received here, 500,000 Rangers bought him for. We signed him from Rangers for free. 1 season later we make 500,000, can't really complain. Right at the end of last season we got 500,000 from Dundee United for Bernard Alou, sad to see him go, and there was quite a few more smaller transfer fees for youth players there. But our total transfers income, 1.33 million basically, outgoings of 560,000, which gives us a total of 770,000 income through transfer fees alone. Obviously the board spent a wee bit of money on doing up the training facilities, but all in all a very good pre-season for us. And now that the housekeeping's out the way for the start of the season, let's get to our first game of the season, and it comes against the recently relegated from the SPL, Motherwell. I assume they'll be the challengers for the First Division title like ourselves, so getting off to a win would be a great start here. Our first 11 consists of many a new face. Simon Royce in goal, back four, Peary, Haywood, Hancock and Carlisle. Midfield, Barbosa, Polios, Whitley and Vicari. And up front we have the new pairing of Fraser and Smart. So there's just Peary, Hancock and Barbosa surviving from last season to feature in today's first 11. Although I don't really know who my best first 11 is. So that's I'll be chopping and changing quite a bit, especially playing some of my youngsters in the Challenge Cup. So I'll try and get possibly a UEFA Cup team, a League team and a Challenge Cup team, as I'll be tackling all those competitions and hopefully be in the UEFA Cup for a wee while. I doubt it, but I hope I will. I should really just concentrate on this game, to be honest. This is actually a big game to really state how well we will do in the First Division, because Motherwell, even though they were relegated from the SPL, they did retain a lot of their players by the looks of things, and stats wise they're pretty good, and they've got a goal. Polios, or I don't know how to pronounce his name. I prefer saying Polios, so I'm just going to keep saying that. Polios debut and scores in midfield. The attacking mid-centre, he's a very, very creative and flair player, and I'm never 100% sure to play an AMC in a central midfield role and not in the role in between the midfield and forwards. It's a red card, Whitley. What were you thinking? Apparently as he was going into that tackle, he's been heard to say crunch, and as he was walking off I was like, what are you playing at? And he just looked at me and he went, leave it out, Gaffer. If you get that reference, well done you. So this has made it a lot harder for ourselves. Vicari coming close though. We still seem to be playing pretty well, even down to 10 men. Because this is a 4-4-2, I feel as if you'd really pretty much just retain the exact same shape. By taking a by taking a forward off and putting into midfield or defence, whatever you're needing to replace the sending off. And we've got a second goal. Who was that? Vicari coming in at the back post, it seems. Lovely stuff. 2-0. And we're still all over Motherwell. Yeah, I was saying about Motherwell coming down, getting relegated and retaining a lot of their players, but maybe that's a bad thing really, because these are the same players that did get them relegated, you could argue. 2-0. Dominating. We've got a max attendance, I'm pretty sure that is as much as this ground will hold. 1,600 people. Royce, I mentioned about paying 425,000 for him. The reason I paid that much, I was looking for a goalkeeper all off-season, pre-season. I was looking for a goalkeeper. Oh, that's a good save by Royce. And I just couldn't find any at all. Like any half-decent goalkeeper. I was like, this is unreal. Any decent one wouldn't come to us at all, not even through me offering them a silly signing on fee to come to us. I was just struggling, but Royce was transfer listed, but the lowest I could get them down to was 425,000. So I was like, I should just pay it. I very rarely pay money for players, so let's just pay it. And as soon as I paid it, about 2 weeks later, it must have now it updates the game. There's a specific date where certain regens come in, and I was thinking I'll have another wee look to see if I can find like a decent wee youth goalkeeper I can have as my reserve goalkeeper. And I stumble upon Casper Ibsen, and he's an absolute bumper. And we've got a third goal, Vicari again. Yeah, the commentary stating great debut, and it really is. Actually make some subs, because the game is now done. 3-0. We've just been battering Motherwell this whole game. So yeah, I get Casper Ibsen, basically 2 weeks after paying that money for Royce. So I felt a bit annoyed, but Royce is still, no, I prefer having a slightly more mature, older goalkeeper in there anyway, especially for Europe. I keep going on about Europe, I'm excited for Europe. But yeah, so not too bad. 425,000, it's a lot of money to spend, but I do have a lot of money in the bank, so not too bad. Let's just see the rest of this game out. So I'm feeling very confident right now for the first division. I already was. I felt as if my team's very, very strong anyway. And Motherwell posed absolutely no threat this whole game. Pires capping it off, 4-0. Our left back goes up and scores. What a great performance. Whitley though, what a debut for him. Yeah, I think our team continues our red cards. It seems to be, this tactic seems to bring out the worst in some of my midfielders. Just banned for the one match though, so yeah. Up next we're at home to Berwick in the League Challenge Cup first round, and it's a complete overhaul for the first 11. In goal we have Ibsen, back four of Piri, Macabuena, Lovell and Johnson, midfield of Fabrini, Batico, Fatch and Millier, and an up front pairing of Fraser and Barlow, so giving my youths a chance here in the Challenge Cup. As you would expect, we go on to easily win the match 4-0. It eventually finishes. Batico, Miller and Barlow scoring 2. In the meantime, we say goodbye to one of the old guard. Callahan leaves to Montrose for 100,000. One of those casualties out of all the new blood we have in the team at the moment. In the second round draw for the League Challenge Cup, we are drawn against 3rd Division side Stirling. A very easy draw for us. Back in the league, we are away to St Johnstone. Could be a tricky wee tie this. And we select basically the first 11 we played against Motherwell. Except one key difference, Whitley is obviously serving his ban, so Falch comes in instead in midfield. It's all looking like a fairly standard 2-0 victory for us, and in the last 10 minutes it all goes wrong. We get McDonald popping up for 2 goals against us to equalise right at the death, and we come away with just a point. Very disappointed with this. 2 games in and we're a whole 2 points behind league leaders Falkirk. 3 days later we are up against Stirling in the League Challenge Cup and again make a complete overhaul to the first 11. Similar to the team I fielded in the first League Challenge Cup game, just a couple of changes. We've got Skrekas getting some game time, and also Johansson, our Swedish left back, getting some game time as he's just coming back from an injury. But apart from that, pretty much the same team I fielded in the first League Challenge Cup game. I'm starting to see a pattern forming here. As expected, we got on to win the game 4-0. Barlow scoring twice, Skrekas and Barbosa. Skrekas scoring on his debut, very happy for him. We find out who we get in the quarter final of the League Challenge Cup, and we are drawn against either Clyde or Ayr. Either side we should really be beaten, and it's also the third round League Cup draw, and we are drawn at home to Gretna. Very easy draw for us, very happy with that. Next up is a league game at home to Alloa. We once again changed the side for our what's becoming the standard league first 11, although there is a couple of changes from the last game. We've got Johansson coming in for Peary at left back, and Whitley coming in. I'm trying him once again in midfield. Hopefully he doesn't go right through someone this time. We go on to win the match very easily 4-0, Barbosa scoring twice, Fraser and Smart also getting on the score sheet. Oh, and we have already caught up with Falkirk. 3 games in, we're now back top of the league. Well, joint top, but better goal difference. 7 points apiece between us and Falkirk. And we will bring about an end to this video with the UEFA Cup draw. It's the first round draw, and yeah, very excited. Can't wait for this. Who are we drawn against? If I can find us. Utrecht. Okay. Definitely isn't one of the harder teams we could have got, but yeah, isn't one of the easier teams either. Fairly tough tie, I'd say, for the first round, but it should give us a good gauge on how well and how far we could possibly go in this competition if we can beat them, I guess. So find out next video how we get on. If you've been enjoying the series so far and would like others to enjoy the series, then please like and subscribe, as that increases my view count somehow. I don't know how it works, but yeah, it helps me. So yeah, cheers for doing that, guys, and thanks for watching. Bye!